Hello, my name is Margo Alora, and I'm a medium and a psychic, and I've been doing that work for the past 40 years. And the past 20, I've been recording and bringing in as a channel Cubus, who's an enlightened being. And we've been working together about 20 years. So this podcast is about widening your path, the path that you live on, the path that encourages you or discourages you, the path that you step on with your head held high or not so high. This path I'm going to share with you is about widening it and feeling comfortable in stepping to the left or to the right. This path is yours, and you get to widen it any way that you wish. So today I'm focusing on the widening part and what it means to do that, and then some ways to widen your path. It's it's a spiritual thought. It's a spiritual happening. And it is most important that you respond with your authentic self. That means the self that the words you say are the actions that you have. So it's not that you're trying to say something really to please somebody else, but that your your actions come from an acceptance of yourself and that is congruent with the way you act. So if you say that you're into equality, that your actions show that. If you say that you're looking forward to a life full of adventure, that means you're probably getting off your so and so to not watch so much television and be out amongst people, or long walks, or adventure in the ways that you define. So what this requires or what this takes is an awakening of soulful parts of yourself, focusing on your strengths that then focus on solutions. Yes, we do have challenges, we do, but let's focus on from our strengths, how do we then get into solutions? And I have spent many hours on the problems, and that what they did is it brought down my energy and really brought down my creativity. So now it's time to notice how you feel when you get into the solutions. When something comes up and it's a challenge, and you pretty much you define it, and then you go for the solution. And what you want to be aware of, soulful solutions that come from your own integrity, not what somebody else says you can do, not what somebody else expects you to do, but from an integration of yourself and your own awareness. That's where the solutions have a lot of vitality and creativity. So if you're intrigued by expanding your path, the next part I want to talk to you about is embracing heart inspired consciousness. I know most of my life was really directed to my thoughts and my brains and my getting, my bachelor's and then my master's and called a master teacher. Those are things that are certainly to be respected. But what we have found out now is we don't have to come from everything from just our thoughts and our brains. but we could actually come from our hearts. How marvelous that is. A heart-inspired consciousness. It embraces the world and it embraces each one of us more fully. So there isn't so much self-talk about, well, I can't do that. Or I remember when someone told me not to do that. A heart-inspired consciousness comes from a softness, not weakness, but a softness and a powerfulness. So the heartfelt consciousness then can call the brain to come up with how to do something, how to be in this world with what starts with the heart. I hope some of you just saw my cat. I wondered if he was going to be called in today. There's a lot of energy with all this, and he's certainly, as we know from studying in Egypt, cats are very, very aware and are called in by the energy, like for this podcast. So I'm asking you to be brave enough to do one more thought process, and that is bringing together the words spiritual and power. A lot of life seems to be directed to, well, if you're spiritual, you're going to act in a weak way. And I believe that's the opposite of what is happening now. You can call on yourself for your own spiritual power that loves yourself and others, spiritual power that calls together community action that can take place just because there are so many of us. Spiritual power is embracing and not limiting. So we'll talk about that in other podcasts, but it's a bringing together that you and I can feel connected with. When you say spiritual power to someone else, notice the connection. It is not a power over, but it is a connecting power. Now I'm coming to the end of this podcast. What I'm going to leave you with is a very powerful question. And I invite you to ask it of yourself and notice that during my podcasts, a lot of what I bring out is because of this one question. What do I not know that I don't know? What do I not know that I don't know? This is a powerful question, and it will certainly widen your path as it has mine. Blessings.